Now there was something that was never addressed in AcceleRacers. Something to do with cars. Something to do with how the Accelechargers affected the cars. More specifically, how they only affected the human-made cars, but didn't affect the drone-made cars. This video will try to explain it using my own theories. Now, as we can see at the start of the Speed of Silence, Nolo's car, High Voltage, started taking damage after prolonged exposure to the Swamp Realm Accelecharger. It is then assumed that using Accelechargers for an extended period of time will damage your car. It is also assumed that taking damage to your car while using an Accelecharger will impair your car in some way, as we can see Taro in the Pipeline Realm and how his communications stopped. However, in many cases, the drones seem to be unaffected by this disadvantage of using Accelechargers, particularly Galorum's car in the Ultimate Race, and RDL1 multiple times in different realms. Now here is my first theory, the most interesting one. The topic has to do with fuel usage and materials used and technology. My first theory as to why drone cars are immune to the negative effects of the Accelechargers is that human-made cars and resources interact with the Accelechargers in some way that creates these negative effects. First of all, it would make sense as to why drone cars are unaffected. Why, do you ask? Because they are made from Acceleron technology. Evidence that supports this is that their cars and technology were around way before human cars were made. It would make sense that Acceleron-made cars would reap the benefits of Accelechargers without having any drawbacks. The other part of this theory is fuel. All of our drivers presumably use fuel, mainly petrol, to run their cars, and coincidentally, only these cars are affected by the negative effects of an Accelecharger. In contrast, the racing drones use fuel sources such as hydrogen, much more cleaner than petrol. However, after checking to see if I'm correct, my theory was kind of blown to bits. After looking at the AcceleRacers interactive garage, they do in fact use carbon and aluminium as their frames for the cars, which are also used in human-made cars. So while my theory about the materials used may be incorrect, there is still the difference in fuel usage and the technology used. Now let's talk about that technology. Drone technology is Acceleron technology, as the Accelerons made the drones. Therefore, it does make sense that there were no malfunctions when using the Accelechargers for prolonged periods of time. Now on to my next theory. This theory has to do with switching Accelechargers and having a time limit, which is probably the most realistic out of these two theories. This theory is that switching the Accelechargers refreshes the time limit of damage that they do to your car. This would make sense as to why Nola's car took damage from prolonged exposure of one Accelecharger, while the drone's cars didn't take damage from prolonged exposure from different Accelechargers. This can be seen in multiple realms such as the Storm Realm, Swamp Realm, and the Ultimate Race. In most instances that the drones use the Accelechargers, they use multiple Accelechargers for a small period of time to get past obstacles, while Nola uses one Accelecharger for a long time, which impairs his vehicle. This can also be seen with the Ultimate Race. Now, as we know, Ultimate Race was only 1 hour and included realms of all sorts. Some of you may ask, but each realm is over an hour long. But, remember how Lani was surprised at how quick the realms are going? Galorum was using different Accelechargers for short periods of time, refreshing the time limit of taking damage to her car. Now this could mean that the Accelechargers have a time limit in which they negatively affect all cars, which would make sense. The AcceleRacers, the Accelerons, wanted you to use the Accelechargers sparingly, mainly to focus on your skills in each realm. Anyway, those are my theories. What are your thoughts and opinions? Anyway, thanks for watching.